What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Weekly Indie Newcomer, the weekend series where you and I take a look at an indie game that's been bouncing around my brain over the course of the last week. This week, we are taking a look at Loot Rascals, which is a game that I actually found. There's a bunch of websites out there that are just random repositories for developers that are working on things that have yet to be released to Steam, and it was on one of those lists. I saw one of the developers, well, a friend of a developer tweeted about it, and then through their website, I got to the repository where I got the game, and Loot Rascals is pretty cool. If you've never heard of it, it's a card-based roguelike with the graphical stylings of like a modern Cartoon Network cartoon. And this is a very, very cool game. I see this one getting really popular once it releases on Steam or wherever else. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the game. I think you're going to like it a lot. I played it for about an hour last night and was just enthralled with it. So let's get rolling with Loot Rascals. So I gotta decide who I want to play. You can either play this guy over here who looks like he's trying to squeeze out a really tough fart. I thought for a second our legs were out of the bottom of the ship, but I think the ship's landing gear is actually just the legs. Like, it lands on a pair of legs. She looks like she's a little bit more adventurous, and she looks like she might have the situation more handled. This dude looks like he's sleepy, and at best he looks like he's constipated. So I'm gonna go with her, because we're gonna be fighting monsters and whatnot. You can't be doing that if you're all plugged up. I almost said you can't be doing that shit if you're all plugged up, but that was a little bit too literal. I don't feel like being that literal this early in the episode.
Wake up. Wake up. Gonna wake up. Alright, we're nearly there, so I'm just going to talk you through the mission again, okay? Right, you're on your way to the site of a new outer space holiday camp, where the miracle substance, Liquid Anything, has already been transported in a Big Barry unit, which is a nickname, it's got a technical name. The Big Barry should have by now prepared the planet's surface, poured in the Liquid Anything, and initiated the 3D rendering process. However, we've lost contact. The most likely scenario is that flying space debris is snapped off the Big Barry's aerial, in which case you should load the appropriate chip into your leg-mounted chip reader and use your helmet to render a replacement part. Before returning home, you should inspect the camp in case there's anything else we need to repair or replace. And remember, ensure that an area is clear before rendering in case you accidentally hit someone in the face, which can kill. This concludes the mission. Oh, sorry, nearly put you back to hypersleep there. Oh, here's the planet coming into view now, look. So I'll guide the spaceship down to the surface and you just kill. I don't know what's just happened, but I do know that moon's not supposed to be there. And the bad news is I've lost control of the ship. Oh, there's the Big Barry, but his head's been stolen. Right, we're definitely gonna kill. Oh, hello, look at this bunch of rascals. Okay, well, the new mission is, let's escape.
Okay, so welcome to Loot Rascals. This is a game that I actually really, really like. This one jumped out at me. It's rare that I get a game on the channel that just pops in every way, and this is one of those games that, like, the production values are through the roof, the sound design is good, everything just feels solid with regards to the mechanics and everything else. We use WASD to move in between hexes. The game is technically turn-based, but at the same time, kind of real-time. So I move in real time. As long as I stay inside of a hex, though, a little time unit doesn't go by. Up in the top right-hand corner of the screen right here, you can see that there are little suns and little moons. Every time we cross a hex, this moves over. Some enemies do different things at night versus things during the day. On the left-hand side, we've got our life, we've got our attack, we've got our defense, and we've got our tokens. This is our home base right here. We can enter the dome, and we can meet up with all the characters who will be sharing this adventure with us. On this side, we've got the Maths of Combat. That's basically like a very, very quick tutorial that teaches you how everything works inside of the game with regards to attack, defense. What I like about it is that they don't leave any of it to RNG. In fact, while the game does have RNG in it, they explain to you how all the systems work. So, like, if you want to understand how blocking works, it's inside of there. If you want to know how getting blocked works, it's inside of there. And it gives you the exact equation for how that percentage is determined, which is very, very cool. I appreciate that a lot. Chef has woes. Ragnall the Heinous stole my spectral destabilizer. Return it for 2 extra spare card slots. That sounds amazing, because I really, really, really want card slots. This is the main mechanic of the game that determines what your attack and defense are. You have attacks and defense. So anything that's orange is an attack. So this adds 1 attack, this adds 1 attack, and this adds 1 attack, coming to 3. This adds 1 defense, 1 defense, 1 defense, adds up to 3. But where the game really gets interesting is these cards start to get stipulations where, like, cannot have another card above it on the grid, cannot have a card to its right on the grid. If there's a card below it, it gets a +2 to attack. And so you can spend a bunch of time just moving your cards around, trying to find the ultimate configuration. It's a Tetris-like minigame, essentially, that is just emergent in the game, and I like that a lot. This thing right here, I believe, not enough tokens. Yeah, so we got to decompile and break cards in order to get tokens, and I think that lets us get upgrades to our life. We've got our mailbox, which allows us to send and receive items in between players. We can get a tip from our friend who has a magic genie head and also appears to be part hologram. And then there's this weird large-fisted individual over here who does something. Oh, yeah. He lets us set our... If you play the game in practice mode, you can have a practice deck, and you can use that to bring it into the game and whatnot. Let's walk through here. It's now nighttime, as you can see. And so this enemy has a little icon above his head. If it's blue, it means that during the night, you attack first. If it's red, well, actually, I should change that. If it's blue, it means you attack first. If it's red, it means they attack you first. So that's going to alternate between day and night, just so you know. So when it becomes daytime, he's going to attack first. But at nighttime, he receives first. So let's give him a little bit of a hit right there. And so that Wook was laid low. That guy, for example, is able to attack us first. So what I'd like to do is we want to attack him first instead. We've only got 3 attack power, so we've lost a little bit of health right there. But he dropped our first loot card, so I'm going to take a look at that. If this is in the top row, it's a blast bib. If it's in the top row, it gets +1 to defense. So let's do that. We now have 5 defense. The way that this works with regards to... Oop, that's not what I wanted. That's how hard he hits for. So he's got 5 defense. I assume that, well, we'll fight him right now. He's got 5 attack and 5 defense. I'm pretty sure it's equal. It just swaps every single day. And so what that means is that when he hits us, it checks our defense. If our defense is not enough to soak the hit, we don't have a block chance, and we just take whatever the value is of his damage minus our defense or whatever. So if he was like a 7 and we were a 5, we would take like 2 damage. Whereas if we were equal, he would have like a 50-50 shot of hitting us for 1 damage or us blocking. If his was 1 below, the chance goes up that we would block and down that we would take 1 damage, and so on and so forth. Hopefully I've explained that in a way that makes it understandable to you. But I'm not the best at explaining mechanics. Normally I just ignore them and hope for the best. It looks like... I love the way it generates the map as you're running around, and I love how everything is so... Oh, that's not good. Oh, we blocked. Fantastic, because he only had 2 attacks, so that's tight. We have, let's see, if there's a card to the left and the right, so I move that right there. This gets a +1, so our defense is now up to 7, and our attack is up by 1, I think. If I put this on an even slot, it gets a +2, and it's an only one, so it's a pool beast. It's essentially an inflatable pool tool that we can use, a pool toy that we can use for... Oh, you have to have multiples of them, though. So that's what it means by only one. So if you put it into an even slot, it gets a +2. But if it's the only one that you have in your inventory right now, you get no bonus. So we'll keep that off to the side for right now. You can also take these and decompile them for tokens if you want to, so that you can upgrade your health and get further into the game. But we'll save that for a little bit later. I keep pressing escape, and I shouldn't. So the goal here is to find the teleport pad on every floor that we've been to. I don't know exactly what this does, but it's got a wire that leads over to there with a bunch of these weak little creatures. Oh, the Wook got me, but I blocked. It's okay. Our defense is too good for it. Oh, he's got 5 attack, though. Ooh, there's a little bit of damage. Unfortunate. Ooh, he's got a boot. You see that right there? He's hiding a boot up inside of himself, like Cousin It style. But he's got like a mud stomping boot in there. He's got a waffle stomper. That guy's got 7 damage, so I would really prefer not to fight that one at all because our defense is 7. And the chance for us to get our ass kicked is just too high. I don't know what this is right here. Let's see, Sticky Vessel. Baddies move slower, half defense. So this, I can slot in, and I think it gives me a special ability, or it might just be a mod. Yeah, it's just a mod. So what this does is enemies will move slower, but our defense has been halved. I'm going to decompile that one because it doesn't seem that useful to me. Like, there might be cases in which it would be useful, but I don't have any of those cases, so... These guys have 5. I can't knock them out with 1 hit, though. So I just gotta hope that our block aim is on point. Oh, he's going to attack first. Good, our block game was kind of on point. Oh, we're going to die. We are definitely going to die. Those clunkers came out of nowhere. And they're so good at robot kung fu. Who knew that they were so proficient at robo kung fu? Attack first. Wah! And then we drop them with a single hit. Yep, that's how we drop them, man. We pop them when we stop them. Then we glock them. I think that's producing more robots. This is largely concerning to me. Oh, I don't want to fight the Bola Gal. Oh, we blocked her. Good. So I think I got to step on that in order to make it work properly. I think, but there are robots like everywhere right now. We should probably get to the bottom of this. Yeah, I think as long as somebody stands on top of that pad right there, it produces robots. You are really, really low on health. This would be a good time to return to the dome and spend some tokens on that healing machine. You can warp back to the dome by holding Q. And see, I didn't even know about that mechanic. I learned a new thing today. So let's hold down Q. Oh, we're too near to baddies. That's unfortunate. Oh! Oh my god, we just so narrowly escaped death. Too near to baddies. Yeah, they are closing with me quite well. Oh, and I'm dead. But that's okay, because you needed to see what was about to happen. So he took one of my cards. I actually think it resets my inventory anyways. So that's that. Our first death, and this is definitely a roguelike. It's a tough one. And we've been sucked through our own face. We sucked our ass through our own face using our nose. Fantastic.
Look, Barry! It's one of your little friends. Barry's been teaching me all about this fascinating liquid he brought with him. You see, my influence over your dimension is limited, so I need representatives on the ground. I don't quite have the hang of it yet, but I'm getting close. In the meantime, we'd really appreciate it if you could keep the numbers down up there. We can't have those idiots passing Barry. Oh, and don't worry about dying. It's just a simple matter of reshuffling time. Now, back you go. Barry has so much to teach me. Your planet sounds lovely, Barry. You must show me how to get there.
Goodbye, Audi Minge Monster. I'll see you later.
Right, well, I think you were a dead body for most of that, so I'll give you the upshot. There's a thing below or somewhere, and it's going to keep bringing us back to life as long as we kill the aliens around here. But what I'm thinking is, we find the big Barry head and fly it home ourselves, without that thing below, obviously. So let's get looking.
Sure, sounds like a reasonable plan. Oh, I lost all my tokens. Alright, thing below can't preserve your cards when it reincarnates you, so you gotta get out there and collect a new set. So I wonder what that hand was that came up and took some of our set. It's a little concerning, is it not? Oh, that Wook wants to fight me. That Wook gave me a look. You could put that on the books. So it looks like we got a 2 defense object already, so if there's a card to its right and it's on the bottom row, it's a +3. Hell yeah! We've got ourselves, it's a boot helmet. A helmet that is made of a boot. I feel as though we've stumbled onto some kind of paradox as to whether we're using this object properly. What is the proper use for this object? If an item is both a helmet or a boot, which is the proper use of the item? I don't know. Is it a helmet for your foot, or is it a boot for your head? Oh, good. He swapped over, so I got the first attack. Hopefully we'll get better cards this time. Last time we didn't get, like, amazing cards anywhere. So the first time I played through this, I ended up with, like, 11 attack and, like, 12 defense within, like, the first couple minutes. If that's on the bottom row, it gets a +2, so our attack is already up to 6. The season, or the day, is about to roll over. I'm gonna go fight this Ogron, though. We can one-shot him, no problem. This Wook shouldn't be an issue either, so we'll give them a quick laser punch. What is that right there? So if there's a card below this, it gets a +2. What does that do? It is rotatable, which means you can choose whether it's going to be an attack or defense card. Oh, it gives a +2 to the card that's below us. Oh, I right-click it and it rotates it. Okay, and it turns it into something else. So I can have, like, really good defense, or I can have, like, really, really good offense. I'm going to go with really good offense, because actually, if we do it that way, so 10 and 6 versus 8 and 8. I'll go 8 and 8 with it, actually, because it buffs this one and gives it the +2 rather than giving itself the +2. So I like that a lot better. That works out pretty well for me. So we're at 8 and 8 right now. We'll keep it nice and even. We're going to have to fight this Bola gal in just a second. So down she goes. We just punched her in the boob until she got the hell out of our way. Because we are all that is mighty here on this planet. Booby punches for everyone. This is the... So... This is a single-use card that does its thing when you burst it by holding the right mouse button. You don't need to equip it. Combine all of your equipped attack cards. So it's now an attack slab. Somehow we ended up with less attack that way. Shouldn't it have had the same value? I didn't count it on out, but we should still be at whatever the same value is. I don't know. Either way, it saved us a bunch of space, so in the long term, it'll end up being useful. I can't do the complex arithmetic required to figure out if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just not mathematically talented in that regard. Let's walk some hexes, yeah? Hopefully we don't run into our X's on these hexes. Ow, I've been punched. Well, technically I've been boned. I've been hit with a giant robo-bone. I don't know what all the electronics on that bone do, but they apparently make it more efficient at boning, I guess. Yeah, get that Bola gal real fast. Got that block off. No loot, though, unfortunately. You don't level up or anything like that. The game is entirely, your advancement is almost 100%. Just with regards to, we're going to have to wait for those to go away. There we go. So at least I have a better chance of killing them if they decide to fight. She did say kill all the monsters. That's what she wanted. She wanted me to slaughter monsters, so that's what I'm doing. It's my best chance at immortality. Bola gal still wants them. I do wish we could still one-shot those, though. One-shotting seems to be the efficient way to do stuff in this game. The Wooks are going to get some. That one's only got 1 defense, so he's definitely going to get whacked. We've got a 2 attack. It says if it's in column 2, it gets a +1. But if there's a card above it, so that gives that a +2. I mean, this one doesn't matter because it's not in that great of a slot anyways. So I'll just move them around like that right there. I really actually love that little mini game where you're like playing around with your card slots. I find it to be a lot of fun. A horse brother. Ow. Yeah, that was a nastier fight than I wanted to participate in. I gotta be able to one-shot everything, otherwise we got problems. I do want that, but I think I'm gonna have to... Oh, it's for the token you get 2 health back. That's what the machine was for. Oh, that's a 16 attack. Never mind. Okay, let's go around maybe and see what we can do here. If I... Unfortunately, I'm going to have to decompile you. I need the token. So we'll go back to base now. Alright, you can warp back to where you came the same way. It does cost you turns. Yeah, and at the end of the turn, something bad happens. 2 tokens. I don't have 2 tokens. I got to decompile more cards. Let's get rid of the ablative armband, I guess, so that I can keep this going. Perfect. And we filled our suit up with love. Oh, it increases the cost every time you want to. Alright. Oh, warping back costs 25 too. Man. Let's beat up a Bolas gal real fast. Yeah. And then we'll go up here. We'll check this situation out. I don't think I want to mess with the Whiskers this time around, although I will fight the Wook, I guess. We're going to block that one pretty easily because our defense is so good. Wipe that guy out. No cards given yet, though. You can attack first. I don't even care. I just need you to go because Whiskers have this tendency to push buttons and activate mechanics that make my life difficult. Like on the previous map, the Whiskers will work their way towards switches and things, which is what they were doing with those robots, which is why the map got flooded. Because I didn't take care of the Whiskers fast enough. Oh shit, it rolled over when I moved. Well, we're making good use of this life, aren't we? Because our defense is down now, we always take a damage when they hit us. I'm going to fall back. I think we got some battle shorts right there. They're looking pretty dope, but... Kill the horse bros off. Horse bros are down. It's a seahorse wrapped around a normal horse. Flaxel the Ghastly. Ew. Suppose it could be worse. It could be Flaxel the Gassy. With our new card, what is that? If it's in column 2, it gets a +1. Okay. Let's put that in right there so that we have 9 defense. He's standing on that pad, and that's going to be an issue, so I'm going to run him down real quick. Just so we don't have anybody activating the thing. Oh, in 3 turns, something bad happens. Uh-oh, you've been here a while now, and corpse mites are starting to show up. If you hang around even longer, even worse things will appear. You can see how many turns until the corpse crew arrives in the top right below the turn counter. Okay, so we got to watch out for the corpse crew now. I'm just trying to find my way out of here, in all frankness. If this is in the top row, it gets a +2, so we now have 13 defense. Defense is looking pretty sexy. With 13 defense, that basically has no chance of hurting us. And we can steal whatever that is. It's a Hydra Putter, okay? There's a card above. Okay, if there's a card above, that one loses. It gets a -1. If it's in column 2... Wait, Orbital Bowls. So... if it's in column 2, it gets a +1, and if there's a card above, it gets a -1, but it's in column 2, and it's not getting its +1. Oh, if there's a card in column 2. No? It adds 1 to itself if it's in column 2. Oh, maybe column, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking rows. It's talking about columns. See, my Excel skills are weak. I do not excel at Excel. We gotta find our way the hell out of here. Oh, the corpse mite done got us. Shit. We didn't block either of those. We should have, but we didn't. We had enough defense to block it. See, I want to know... So when it takes my cards, maybe that stays on the map for the next run, and it's got the bonuses of my cards? Who knows? Kind of crazy style, though. Getting sucked through my own butthole. Back out of the gate. Yeah, I've been butt-sucked. My name is Splattercat. This game's called Loot Rascals. I'm going to do another episode because I think it's a lot of fun, and I wanted to show off more of it, so stay tuned for that. If you don't know what this is Weekly Indie Newcomer, the weekend series where I play indie games. And it's a lot of fun. I love playing indie games, and I'm glad when I find a quality one like this one to show off to all of you. So thank you for stopping on in. I appreciate it very, very much. And I will see you when we next convene. All right?